Thank you very much, and I want to thank all the press that's joined us on what I consider the doldrum days of July in the political calendar. Last Friday, I think it was in Roanoke, President Obama made what I believe is the latest in a series of self-defining and frankly extremely dumb comments that come out of Barack Obama and the Obama campaign. What's really scary about it, when he said, if you've got a business, you didn't build that, somebody else made it happen. What's really scary about that is that I think he clearly believes it, and he clearly has been practicing it. Certainly the White House has been practicing it. They really think that government is there to pick who should succeed and who should fail, and of course they like to see their friends succeed more than anyone else. And they have been practicing this crony capitalism of giving major grants of taxpayer money to people who are investors in businesses, but people who are bundlers and contributors to the Obama campaign, or people who are related to people who have worked for the president or the vice president, or good friends of the Chicago crowd that is in the White House. They have given this kind of a grant to Solyndra, $500 million. They gave it to Fixter, and Fixter took a lot of the jobs to Finland. They gave it to Bright Source. They gave it to First Wind. It's the standard practice of how President Obama believes you create jobs. Unfortunately, in most of those cases, the management was so inept, the only reason they got the money is because of their cheek-by-jowl relationship with the president, that the businesses failed and people were put out of work rather than creating jobs. I emphasize that, to me, there's a three-way parlay in here. Number one, the president, in making that statement, doesn't understand how America works, doesn't understand how business works, and clearly, in making that statement of ignorance, explained why the last 4 years have done nothing to create jobs in America. The second piece is that it's crony capitalism, that in believing that, he thinks it's his right to give taxpayer money to those who have supported him financially. And the third piece is that it ties back completely to where President Obama comes from. He comes out of that murky political world in Chicago where politician and felon has become synonymous. It is an area where two of their governors are in prison. It is an area where Tony Resco is a convicted felon and in prison, and just happened to be the guy that did a smarmy real estate deal with the president, in which Resco pays top dollar, the president pays a discount, and the deal is able to be done. So it comes out of his political genes, if you will, that this is the right way to do business. I am shocked that the president introduced the word felon into the political discourse. Again, it's another one of those dumb, self-incriminating comments that come from the president and his campaign. If you introduce the word felon into the political discourse, you open yourself up again to the discussion of the Chicago roots and the Chicago political/felon environment that he came out of. This country needs jobs. It is not going to get jobs when someone as unqualified as the president is in charge of the economic recovery. But furthermore, those comments are insulting to the hard-working entrepreneurs who really do create jobs, who go out and start businesses, who take the second mortgage and take the chance and hire some people and get a business going. These are the people who are the backbone of our economy, and the president clearly demonstrated that he has absolutely no idea how the American economy functions. The men and women all over America who have worked hard to build these businesses, their businesses, from the ground up, is how our economy became the envy of the world. It is the American way, and I wish this president would learn how to be an American. Having said that, We have four great Americans on the line with us today. We have Kyle Kohler from KK Tool in Ohio. We have David Napier, who does White House Catering in the Old City Bar in Richmond, Virginia. We have Jerry Pierce, who owns Restaurant Equipment World in Orlando, Florida. And we have Renee Amore from the Amore Group in Pennsylvania. And I'm going to ask each of them in turn to make some comments, and we'll start with Kyle.
Thank you very much, Governor. I appreciate it. As the Governor said, my name is Kyle Kohler. I'm the Vice President of the KK Tool Company in Springfield, Ohio. We're a family-owned manufacturing firm that's been in business for about 40 years. We do $5 million in annual sales, and we compete directly with China on about 70% of the work we do for local and nationally known firms. We specifically do machining and building of stamping dies for corporations all across the U.S. We're the quintessential family business in that 6 or 7 brothers and sisters come together every day with our other employees to make KK Tool a success. Like the Governor said, my father was one of those guys that took a $7,000 second mortgage out and bought a piece of machinery and stuck it in the middle of his 7 children and said, we're going to build a business, and we're going to do it with sacrifice and hard work. In reference to what the President said the other day, if all it took to have a successful business, as the President suggested, was a road in the front of your house and an internet connection, then everyone would have a small business, but they don't. It takes more than that. It takes hard work, and it takes smarts. But most of all, and something he left out in his comments, is it takes sacrifice. And it's something I don't think this president knows anything about. The American dream is about seeing a need in the free market and deciding to risk everything you have now and in the future for an opportunity to fill that need in an innovative way with the hopes of profiting in the future. The American dream means doing without the gold-plated health care and the paid vacations and the fancy homes in return for someday being able to provide your family with a better living. It's about risk and reward, but it's mostly about sacrifice. For this president, the American dream seems more about waking up every morning and knowing that the government is going to provide free education, free school lunches, a college education, a guaranteed job with health care, paid vacations, and 99 weeks of unemployment if it turns sour. I can't help but think that if our founding fathers were alive today, they wouldn't recognize that as the American dream. It seems to me that the Obama's America, there's no risk, but there's plenty of reward. That's called socialism to me. In the small business America, there's a lot of risk and a chance of reward, and that's called capitalism, and that's what made the United States the greatest nation on the face of the earth. We have a small business today because my father sacrificed and his children sacrificed for years to make our business a success. Many times we did without. We watched others who had fancy cars and long vacations, and we invested in vacation money, and we invested new car money into the business to update our equipment and new machinery. We sacrificed so that we would... that in the end, we paid millions in taxes because we sacrificed. We've generated millions of dollars in payroll and payroll taxes. Government is not sacrificing to provide the roads and the internet so businesses are handed out like gifts to people. Small businesses are the ones that are sacrificing their hard-earned profits in the form of taxes so that governments can exist. Government is getting a free ride on the backs of small business and not the other way around. That's what frustrates me about the president's words the other day. This president seems ignorant when it comes to even beginning to understand what the free market is about, and his statement this weekend, while off teleprompter, proved it. Mitt Romney understands small business, and he believes in capitalism just like our family does, and we need his kind of leadership.
Thanks very much, Kyle. Your comments are right on there. David, have you got a minute for us?
Yes, I do. Thank you. My name is David Napier, and I own and operate White House Catering in Richmond, Virginia. I was originally from Bedford, Virginia, which is very near Roanoke, where those comments were made. I have a small business. In our peak season, we're 45 to 50 employees. They're terrific. They help me build the business. We face the challenges that small businesses face. We had a flood that took a business out 8 years ago, and that's, you just rebuild after that. And mostly what people like me do is have a business to create a unique way to get a paycheck. There's not any great resale value without my name on my catering business. It's just about loving what I do and working hard. I need a regular check, just like my employees. The last 3 years, they have not been regular when they come. But we have been blessed. We have been able to meet our payroll and meet our expenses. But for as hard as I work, I think I deserve better. And when the president says that in basically my hometown, I don't think he understands that 100% of every dollar that the government receives comes from business activity. Not 99%, 100%, mostly through payroll taxes, but taxes on businesses directly also. So I feel like I built those roads, and I feel like I built those bridges, and I feel like I have a right to use them to try to make a better life for myself and my employees. And I want the current employees I have to be able to have a better paycheck, not only to get more employees. And I'm very scared that, once I cross that 50 employee threshold, I'm going to be penalized for trying to grow my business. So do I shrink it back down to 25? Because it's easy to do. It would be an easier work week for me, that's for sure. I really am excited about the thought of having Mitt Romney in the White House to correct these dangerous problems that we have. Obama's a nice guy. He just does not understand that 100% of the government revenue comes from business activity. So business is not bad. Business is good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. You and Kyle have just given a great presentation of exactly what I meant when I said the president has to learn the American formula, what the American formula for creating business and jobs in America is. It's what made America great, and we've got two more great examples of that. Jerry Pierce, can you give us yours?
Yes, sir, Governor. I'd be happy to. I don't really have anything to add on to what Kyle and David said. They both said it very, very well. My story is very similar to theirs, but rather than repeating everything, I give you a little of my background. I own a company with about 45 employees. We sell all over the United States. I founded our company in 1976, but when I founded it, the 10 years prior, I saved all the money I could to save the first $10,000. My first office was a desk that was made of a door on top of two filing cabinets and one phone with one phone line. And so when President Obama makes a comment that somebody else helped us in business, I really find that highly insulting and highly arrogant. He has absolutely no idea what it takes to start a business and to have a dream of building it for the future. He is very bad for our country. When I started in business, there was never a community organizer that stepped forward to help me or anybody else. So many, many times I did put a second mortgage on my house. I paid employees using credit cards, and many times gave up vacations and sacrifice for the future to build a company that hopefully I could turn over to my children who are in the process of running it today. So I feel very strongly we have the wrong person as president. We need to have Governor Mitt Romney as our new president. He understands business. Our present president absolutely does not. And that's all I have to say. We need to replace him.
Thank you, Jerry. And we have one more example of the American formula for creating business and jobs that the White House has to begin to understand, and that's Renee Amore. Renee?
Thank you, Governor. I appreciate it, and thank you to my fellow small business owners. I just want to say I'm Renee Amore. I'm the president and CEO of the Amore Group, a healthcare and business consulting group out of King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. And I have to say that I have over 50 employees. We have been in business for about 16 years now, and I'm happy to say that we have been blessed because of sacrifice. When the president made his comments last Friday about you've got a business, you didn't build that, I don't know where the heck that he got that from. And to me, it was a reprehensible statement, and he doesn't know what the heck is going on in this country. President Obama's comments reflect just how unqualified he is to lead this real economic recovery. He really doesn't understand what it's about. This was insulting to me, and not just to me, to all the entrepreneurs on the phone and across this country. Mitt Romney knows that because he has lived it, he's helped entrepreneurs and dreamers start their companies like me. He has, he doesn't practice the Chicago-style economics. He doesn't just give to, folks that raise money or those kind of things. This is getting out of hand. It's out of control. As an African-American woman, people think I need to vote for Obama because he's black. Well, I've been black a long time, and he won't get my vote because of the things that he has done. While his supporters get payoffs, the middle class like me, American, I'm suffering. I don't want to have to lay off people, but other people have been laid off. I am creating jobs. He doesn't know how to create jobs. He knows how to get rid of jobs. Over 23 million Americans are out of work and unemployed or having given up looking because they just don't know what else to do. The income and wages have fallen. I worked very hard. I'm going to continue to work hard. He's not working hard at all, and he doesn't know what hard work means. My husband was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. I am the sole breadwinner in my home with my child. So the bottom line, this is survival for me and all my employees. And so I need Mitt Romney to get in the White House. I am sick and tired of his hope and change. I am hoping for a change.
Thank you very much, Renee, and we'll open it up to questions now. Christy, do you want to moderate the questions?
Yeah, we have time for just a couple. Claire, would you go ahead?
Of course. Okay, our first question will come from Joe Varden with Columbus Dispatch. Please go ahead, sir.
Good morning, Governor. I guess it's the morning. Couple quick ones for you. The first, could you clarify your comment, you wish this president would learn how to be an American? Just maybe provide, but then also before I let you go.
You get a second question since I have to clarify. How's that?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
what I thought I said, but I guess I didn't say, is that the president has to learn the American formula for creating business. The American formula for creating business is not to have government create business. The American formula for creating business that I wish he would get comfortable with is to create a climate in which entrepreneurs can thrive. If I didn't give all that detail, I apologize. Now you can ask another question.
I guess without speculating on whether or not it will be him, I was interested in your thoughts on how you think Rob Portman would stack up if indeed he were Governor Romney's choice as a running mate.
I have the advantage of knowing nothing about the vice presidential process, and I work hard to stay ignorant. But having said that, Rob Portman was trained beautifully because he worked for me in the White House. He's a great senator. He's a great American. He knows the details of government as well as anybody I know. He understands politics. He is a good, strong campaigner. And if Rob Portman's the choice, the Governor Romney will be all the better for it. But there are a lot of other good people out there that also, each in their own way, have equivalently good qualifications. The governor is very fortunate to be selecting amongst a gaggle of very, very good potential vice presidential choices.
Okay, our next question will come from Andrew Stiles with the Washington Free Beacon. Please go ahead, sir.
Governor Sununu, on the subject of cronyism, one of Obama's largest donors, Jeffrey Katzenberg, a DreamWorks CEO, is currently under SEC investigation for bribing Chinese officials for exclusive film rights in a deal involving Vice President Biden. I just wanted to get your reaction to that and see if you think that sort of thing exemplifies a broader theme of the administration being too cozy with China.
Yeah, I learned from people in Chicago that the right answer to that question is, while someone's under indictment, I should not comment.
Okay, our next question will come from Garrett Haake with NBC News. Please go ahead.
Governor, any thoughts to the question of providing more data on Governor Romney's tax returns as it plays into this argument about what somebody understands or doesn't understand about creating a business?
Yeah, I actually think the governor's made the right decision releasing two. You know, these things are about 6 inches high, which means if we released what the Obama people say is what they consider sufficiency, 12 years, that'd be about 6 feet of returns in which they could find whatever nit they want to use as a distraction. This is just a distraction. If he releases 2 years, they're going to ask for 4. If he releases 4, they're going to ask for 8. If he releases 8, they're going to ask for 12. And frankly, if he releases 12, they're going to ask for 20. There was a movie called The Never-Ending Story, and I think that issue falls into that category.
Okay. And thank you. And Claire, this will be the last question that unfortunately we have time for.
Yes, ma'am. Our final question will come from Sarah Boxer with PBS. Please go ahead. Ms. Boxer, please go ahead with your question.
I'm here. Thanks. Governor Sununu, just to sort of expand on that tax return question, do you think that, what do you think of the new Obama ad in Pennsylvania today that indicates that possibly not releasing tax returns might show that Governor Romney didn't pay taxes at all, potentially, for any of the years that he's not releasing the records?
It just shows how stupid the Obama campaign is to think that somebody who has been a public businessman all his life and governor of Massachusetts, if he didn't pay returns, you don't think that the IRS would be knocking at his door? You should take that reality, that if that were true, the IRS would have knocked at his door and we would all know about it. So by definition, in running that ad, the Obama campaign has once again demonstrated that they are clearly and unequivocally a bunch of liars.
Claire?
Yes, ma'am. There are no more questions.
Thank you.
Great. We want to thank everyone. Thank you, Governor, and thank you for the small business leaders that were able to join us.
Thank you, Kyle, David, Jerry, and Renee. You guys were fantastic.
Well, thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, please feel free to follow up with our campaign. Thank you.
Okay,